Hello, my name is Jessica, and I am with my wonderful husband, Garrett.
Hello.
And you are listening to Just Got Home. This is our podcast where we just talk about stuff that we want to talk about with each other all day, and, you know, when we just get home and see each other.
That's right.
Currently, neither of us just got home from anything. We just wanted to do a podcast recording. It's actually New Year's Day. It's January 1st, right. 2020. New decade, new me. Right, Garrett?
That's right, Jesse. How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's been really nice to have a day off of work.
Yeah, I need that. I've been working a lot.
Especially after the holidays. It's just been... before the holidays you're working, and then in between it's like a weird limbo where you're kind of working, but you're kind of not working.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to have like a nice actual like, okay, New Year's is, past us. We're just starting a new year and fresh and new. Feels good. Feels refreshing. I'm excited for the new decade, and I'm looking forward to the rest of our podcast because I actually have something that I vaguely talked to you about a little bit this morning.
Oh.
I asked Garrett this morning. Okay, to preference this. Between the two of us, we've seen all of the Star Wars films now, including Episode 9.
That's right.
That came out a few weeks ago. And
I will share my thoughts with it at some time.
Okay. And we've watched every episode of Mandalorian Season 1.
That's right.
And you showed me a couple episodes of the Clone Wars, and I had a thought during all of that. Why does everyone hate the Jedi? And you told me.
Yeah, so in like Star Wars mythology, the Jedi like steal babies and turn them into Jedi. Actually, do I have that Star Wars book over there? You guys can't see, there's a bookshelf over here.
We have Episode 4.
No, there's a book that's like the ultimate guide to Star Wars. I don't know if I have it or if it's still at my parents' house.
Probably still at your parents' house.
But in the book, they go over the whole history, and the reason the people don't like Jedi, I mean, one of them is because they steal babies. They're called baby snatchers.
I was in such disbelief when I heard that. I was like, what? I've been living this lie? I had no idea. I thought that the people who recruited stormtroopers stole babies, and that's why people didn't like them.
Turns out in Star Wars, everyone's stealing babies.
Everyone steals babies. I can't believe they just take babies. I was so surprised. I was like, what? What? Anyway, that blew my mind.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I feel like my whole world has changed. Seriously. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Jedis are not allowed to fall in love. They're not allowed to get married. They're not allowed to have sex with each other. Therefore, no Jedi babies. So where did the Jedi babies come from?
Oh my gosh. I never even thought of that. No, I'm just... my whole world is different. Oh my gosh.
That's just one of the reasons. The other is that they're kind of religious prudes.
I thought maybe it was because they're kind of like police. That's why everyone hated them. I thought you were going to say that.
Because they're like the police.
They are. Ooh, we're trying to keep order. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to bring that up because I kind of blew my mind a little bit today. If you want to know a little tidbit on what I learned today in the beginning of the year.
First thing you learned this year, why do everyone hate the Jedi? Because they steal babies.
Oh my gosh. My world is upside down. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting, and I just wanted to mention it. But, you know what we should talk about is...
What should we talk about?
We should talk about Episode 9 of Star Wars.
Oh boy. Okay.
I know you have more strong opinions about it than I do.
So we've both only seen it once, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we both saw it opening night, which is on December 20th of last year. It is now January 1st, 2020. Yeah, we saw it opening night at our local theater, the theater where we actually met each other.
Yeah, it's a great theater. Everyone should go.
Yeah, it's called the Strand Theater in Delaware. Shout out to the Strand.
Shout out to the Strand.
Yeah, they're a great theater. They're great prices, great hometown feel. People really care about you.
Yeah.
Great management.
We can talk about the Strand.
Yeah, we can talk about the Strand.
We have so much to say about the Strand.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Star Wars.
Yeah, so let's get back to Star Wars. So what did you think of Star Wars?
Episode 9, I definitely liked it better than episode 8 because I just like, movies where I go to a lot of locations. That's just a personal preference. I do remember saying at the end, wow, that was a lot, because oh my goodness, so much happened. There was ever like never any downtime ever in that movie. Not at all. It was just action and story all over the place, and then it ended and you're like, wow, what a roller coaster ride that was. So I mean, personally, I would definitely rewatch it. I thought it was enjoyable. I would not say it was the best one. I thought it was going to end a little differently, but overall, I did prefer over some other films, and I would definitely rewatch it.
Yeah. So I didn't.
Garrett has other opinions.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. It was fun to watch. Sorry. So my reaction when the movie ended, I turned to Jesse, and I still pretty much think this, is I said, that was a mess, but I had a good time watching it.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
That's pretty much how I felt about it. Like,
I feel like in episode 8, they really didn't go very many places, and I feel like if they would have condensed some of that down and put some of episode 9 from the beginning in episode 8, it would have been much more compelling of a movie both ways. Like, both of them would have probably been a little bit more compelling.
Well, I don't think they really had a plan for what they were going to do.
I know.
And which is probably the biggest problem.
Honestly, if you're going to plan such a big trilogy to the end of a
like
huge franchise,
Star Wars,
you should have probably planned out all 3 movies way in advance so everything lined up instead of just doing one at a time. I mean, personally, that's like people who write book series and then they say, like, in the book series number 4, oh, by the way, this was here the whole time, and we had never indication of thinking it was. Like, what the heck is that, Like, that's not right. You have to plant it early on, and then that way, when the reveal happens at the very end, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just bad storytelling, I think.
It was just sad, because I feel like if there would have been more communication between the Rian Johnson, who directed episode 8, and J.J. Abrams, who directed the other 2 episodes, I feel like if there's a little bit more communication and agreement, it probably would have been really good. I feel like someone took something that they made really well, and they did it their own way, which was good in a different way, but didn't work with what the other person was doing, and then the other person trying to fix it all up at the end. Like, it just felt messy, and it's sad because it's such a huge franchise, and it's such, like, people love Star Wars so much,
Yeah, and a lot of Star Wars fans like the movie, and I get that.
Yeah.
I understand why a lot of people really like the movie, and I don't want to take that away from them. It's because most people don't really watch movies the way I do. I'm about to graduate from Ohio State, and I have a minor in screenwriting, and so I've spent a lot of time, both in my own time and in school,
humble brag,
studying screenwriting. Like, I've analyzed scripts. When I watch movies, I'm analyzing them. I'm not, it's just the way my mind works. It makes movies less fun, and honestly.
And you're not, like, a writing genius, but, like,
No.
have loved, like, film and story writing for, like, a lot, like, since a very young age.
Oh, yeah.
You've been writing, like, you love writing.
Yeah.
So, like, it's hard to watch movies mindlessly once you have a lot of information like that.
Yeah, and it's really, like, it's not talking about, like, the skill that I have or the wisdom I have. I just know some base level things about screenwriting.
Yeah.
And about what makes stuff work, what makes stuff doesn't, stuff about pacing, and
they kind of didn't do all of that, is what you're saying?
No, there was
Especially the pacing. Oh my gosh, it was just like I got on a roller coaster and I did not get off till it ended.
Yeah, there was a no break, which sometimes that works, but in Star Wars you kind of want breaks.
You need like that moment where like you can just breathe, where like they feel safe and you feel safe, like in the story with them, that they can like think about what they're doing and stuff. And it was just action, action, action. It was crazy.
Yeah, my big problem is the first half of the movie was so convoluted and confusing. I was actually having an argument about this with my brother, and
Which one?
I think it was either Jonah or Evan, and it was either Jonah or Evan,
Okay.
and
His younger brothers.
yeah, one of my younger brothers.
They're like teenagers. So
Yeah.
That's yeah. Anyway, go on.
Excuse
For
me.
context.
And one of them said, whichever one I was talking to, said, no, the story and the script was so good. It was so good. it was really well written and well done. And I was like, really? Mm-hmm. You really think it was that well done? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's do a little mental exercise. You think the script is that well done? Explain the first half of the movie to me. What happened?
Yeah. I think we're trying to keep it spoiler free as far
Yeah.
as like, because people probably haven't seen
Yeah, we
it.
should probably keep it spoiler free.
But for the most part, the first half of that movie felt like a whole nother mini movie in itself.
Oh yeah.
And I've heard other people say that, and once I saw it, I was like, yeah, it kind of did feel like that. I wish they would have made some of the things they did in episode 8 a little bit smaller, and they would have fit that part of the first half of first third or fourth of episode 9 into episode 8, and now I've been like, whoa, they're gonna do this at the very end, because like it makes people think over time, like, oh my gosh, they're still like, as time passes in between each movies, like people are stuck on that part of the ending instead of whatever happened at the end of 8. Do you even remember what happened at the end of 8? They got away.
Broom boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid
It's
uses
kind
the
of
force
like,
with
exactly,
the broom.
what an
and-
ending to a film. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if they would have ended the second episode in this part of the trilogy on a cliffhanger, like if they would have done it with the
They
first
would have
part of this
started some of that stuff up in episode 8. Yeah.
if they would have some of that in episode 8 to have the audience like a more compelling reason to go see episode 9 to see the conclusion, I feel like people would have in one part gone to see it more, and in 2 part would have had more downtime to not make it feel so cramped to get all this last minute information in the last film.
Yeah, they're basically tried to undo a lot of the stuff that they did before. Oh no, now you're yawning, and it's just gonna be
I'm sorry.
It's just gonna be we're gonna bounce back and forth the whole podcast. Oh god.
I'm sorry. I yawned. You yawned.
No, that's all right. So yeah, it's just there's a thing in storytelling called MacGuffins, and a MacGuffin, for lack of it's a term in storytelling where it's the thing that somebody's looking for, and the thing doesn't really matter that much, or it may matter more than others. So like the MacGuffin in Avengers Infinity War is all the 6 Infinity Stones, and so they got to find all of the MacGuffins. And in this movie, they have a lot of MacGuffins.
Yeah.
And
like you got to get this to get this to get this to get this, and like on one point that would be fun if it was just its own movie and like a single kids film, but like this was already a part of something so big. Like, we've already done this, you know?
Yeah, the thing with MacGuffins is you really got to care about them. You got to set it up so that the audience really cares about the MacGuffin. And there's one setup at the very beginning of this movie, and it's kind of what is focused on for the first half of the movie. They got to find this thing that we've just learned about. But in order to find the thing, you've got to go to the place to find this other thing. But in order to use this other thing, you got to go to this other place to find this person.
Now that you say that, it kind of reminded me of National Treasure.
A little bit, but that's what you're expecting when you go to a National Treasure
movie. When she
movie.
held up that dagger and it pointed to the line, that was a very National Treasure thing.
Oh yeah, that was really stupid.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's not very Star Wars-y.
Spoilers, but yeah.
I mean, that's not too much of a spoiler.
Yeah.
She has a dagger and she holds it up to find something. But like, it's just one of those things where, like, it didn't quite feel like the last Star Wars film as I wanted it to. It felt off, and I feel like they just tried too hard to put too much into the very end, and I wish they would have just focused on, like, the characters and just, which they did at some points.
I think they were trying really hard not to make anybody upset, and in a way they succeeded. But in doing that, they just made a really crappy movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like they didn't want to make anyone upset, which means that they, like, try to please lots of fans. But in doing that, there wasn't any, like, serious endings. Like, there was a couple, but, like, it wasn't what you were thinking was going to be the last ending, you know, of everything.
Yeah, it was just kind of disappointing, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Yeah, and then there's
there's
a couple points where things happen where you're just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, you're just like, you
have to do that a couple of times in this movie.
Blindly go with it. And,
yeah. It's kind of
it didn't quite feel like a Star Wars film to me. It felt like a different kind of film, and I can't describe it. Like, there was so much action, but not like Michael Bay action. It was just like so much was going on, you know. And it was like, and like the treasure hunt they practically went on for the first half of the movie, like, that felt very National Treasure-y to me. And, like, it just didn't feel like a Star Wars film. It felt like a teen science fiction fantasy novel written 6 years ago.
That's an interesting thought.
Like, during the Hunger Games and stuff.
That's interesting. Huh. Didn't think about it like that.
It just felt like a different kind of... It didn't feel like Star Wars. It felt like something different. You know, and I wish they took a couple more risks.
Yeah.
Like, risks. I wish they took more risk.
All right.
In, like, making it more, like, Star Wars-y than just pleasing Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
You know, with happy endings for certain characters.
Yeah.
You know?
So, all right. So, overall, how many stars or thumbs do you give it?
I would probably give it, like, 3.5 stars out of 5. Probably like 3.75 if I had to be really specific, because, like, I didn't have lots of expectations going into it either, because I honestly forgot it was coming out. Like, at that point I was just like, okay, whatever, I'll see it when it comes out, you know, because it's Star Wars. But, like, I wasn't as excited for it as I was for The Force Awakens, you know. Also, I love Kylo Ren. Adam Driver, I love you. If you can hear me, please come to my house. I want to give you a hug, please.
Hey!
I just think he's a cool guy.
Is it because I don't have the ears?
Just shush, no. I just think he's a cool guy, and he, like, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the characters he plays gets a lot of crap, and I just feel bad for him.
We're not going to watch Marriage Story. All right, so what else are we going to talk about? We talked about Rise of Skywalker. You had some other things we wanted to talk about?
Well, are we making this our first episode?
Yeah, I think
Official first episode?
Yeah, I think
first episode we talk about Star Wars. How fitting.
Yeah.
I think, since this is our first official episode, should we say a little bit about ourselves, or should we save that since we kind of did that in our tester one, or what do you want to do?
I don't know. So we recorded like a test podcast before this, which went all right. It was kind of...
We're still debating on posting it or not, because it's kind of long, and, like, the camera cut out at the end, and it's kind of rambly. I mean, these are probably all going to be rambly for a while until we can
we'll get better at this.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I mean, like, man, I just, like, couldn't get over that whole Jedi takes babies thing. That just, like, threw me for a while. I'm like, I gotta tell someone else about this, and so far the only person I've seen today is Garrett, so... I just like talking to you about stuff.
Yeah. So, let's talk about New Year 2020.
Ooh, yeah. the new year, January 1st, 2020, new decade, new year.
What kind of plans you got for 2020? What do you want to do?
Well, are we talking about resolution-wise, or like what we want to accomplish before the end of the year?
I don't know, just general thoughts, whatever.
Well, I've gotten mixed reactions from telling people my resolution is not that exciting, but like,
You have a weird resolution.
I know. I just like learning, and right now I
just like learning.
I just like learning, okay? I'm one of those people that you hate. Anyway, I just like learning, and I've always found learning new languages interesting, and I thought it might be cool to kind of teach myself a little bit of German, because I am, my mom's side of the family is like completely German, and I'm just very German, and I thought it'd be cool to like maybe like speak a little bit, know how to like understand it a little bit better.
And you've been practicing it for a little while, right?
I've been here and there practicing it, but I haven't been very consistent in a long time, and so my New Year's resolution is to practice my German at least for 5 minutes every day on like a Duolingo app, because I thought that was a reasonable resolution, because it's just 5 minutes a day. Because all my resolutions in the past have failed. Actually, I think I actually kept the one I did last year. I wanted to read 12 books last year, and I read 21, and I feel pretty good about that.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. That was actually, now that I say that, I do feel pretty good about my resolution. I can do it. I did it last year. But anyway, that's my New Year's resolution per se. What's your resolution this year? Do you have one?
Stay married to you.
Stay married.
No matter how difficult it is.
I changed my resolution. That's my resolution.
You know, hey. I didn't really make an official resolution. I mean, I guess I'm going to graduate.
I've made resolutions like that. Like this year, I'm gonna get my driver's license when I turn 16, which actually didn't work. But you know,
that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
When I first met you and we were working together at the Strand Theater, you're a little bit older than me. I had my driver's license and a car. You had a car, but no driver's license.
Yeah. Well, it was my mom's car.
And we were 18.
Yeah. I got my driver's license like less than a month before I turned 19, because I was so busy in high school. I did a lot of after school activities, so I didn't have a lot of driving practice time. But anyway.
So when I first met you, I drove you around a lot to work, because you were sort of on the way to work. And I didn't mind, because I kind of liked you. And I picked you up. And then I remember the first time I dropped you off, though. You were like, thanks for the ride. And you jumped out of my Jeep and you slammed the door really hard.
Say that.
And I was like, this girl has no respect.
My mom's car door, you had to shut the door hard, otherwise it wouldn't close. So I just do that to everyone's car, and I feel bad about it afterwards when they're like, you shut the door kind of hard. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just habit. My mom had the same van for like 12 years. But anyway, back to New Year's resolutions. What's your resolution this year? Is it to graduate, like you said?
Yeah, graduate, get started on my career. So I'm going to be
Jedi Academy.
Jedi Academy. I was stolen as a baby.
Stop! This is not funny anymore. I don't like where this is going.
So I will be graduated from Fisher College of Business at the Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. And I will be graduating with a BSBA. Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, or
Carrot?
I don't know what BSBA stands for. It's a bachelor's degree in business with a focus in operations management.
Okay, and you have a minor.
And I have a minor in screenwriting.
Yeah.
Yes,
which is nice to have.
Because I wanted to, because I had some electives to fill, and I was like, I'm going to be a wild child.
Yeah.
Minor in screenwriting.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy screenwriting.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I've written several scripts. You know, we'll have to talk about that sometime. We'll have to talk about filmmaking sometime.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've made several movies. Jesse's helped me with several of them.
Yeah.
And
my art is more in live performance.
Yeah.
I was an actor. I did the stage crew for theater and like the sound and lighting and all that stuff.
We'll have to talk about performance artistic pursuits on a different podcast sometime.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun to talk about.
Yeah, that would be.
Quite impassioned, I would imagine.
Yeah. Oh, man, I got so many stories. You have no idea. So many stories. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really just to graduate and start my career. I've already got a job, just working consulting at some different warehouses right now. And we'll see how that goes. I've only been doing that for about a month now.
About a month.
Yeah, about
the beginning of December.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for about a month now.
How do you feel like it's going?
I've been enjoying it. It's been
better than it's gotten better.
Yeah, it's gotten better. It's been a transition. It's quite intense.
Yeah.
It's quite intense. It's quite a culture shock to go and work in a distribution center, go and work in a warehouse.
For long hours too.
For long hours, I work 3/12s back to back, and yeah, it's just different because I've spent the last several years in working in an educational context, learning in an educational context. I worked for a textbook company, proofreading their textbooks.
You still work
through
for
school.
them.
I still work for them, and so for the past couple of years, it's just been education, kind of ivory tower, high level stuff, and now I go into this real business context, and it's a lot different. I mean. Culturally, it's a lot different, and so that's been a little bit of a transition, but it's been a good experience, and I look forward to experiencing that more.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, that's a nice resolution. I've had resolutions like that where like it was like something I knew was going to happen this year. Like this year, I'm going to graduate high school because I knew I was going to graduate that year. You know, I've had resolutions like that before.
Yeah.
Which I think is fine. I mean, trying to finish your last term of your bachelor's is enough. You know, like it is a resolution, honestly. It's stressful.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Oh, it's not even that early. Oh, dang.
What?
It's almost 3:30.
Yeah, and we're like yawning, and I'm just drinking coffee. We have the day off. We can do what we want.
Yeah, I mean, we were up late partying last night because it was New Year.
We were at your parents' house.
We're at my parents' house drinking champagne and talking about hugs.
Hugs and mountain angels. Anyway. Does anyone get that reference? Tell me if you get that reference.
Let us know in the comment section below.
If we post this online.
Yeah, if we post this online. Who knows? We probably shouldn't post any of this stuff. This is probably all too incriminating.
Honestly, it's kind of nice because it feels more like our personal journal entries of our life at the time.
Yeah. Podcasting is interesting. It's not that hard. I mean, we did it with no preparation like 10 minutes ago. Or 10 minutes before we started, I guess. We've been going for about a half hour now.
Yeah. By the way, if you hear like swooshing, we live really close to the road, so those are trucks going by.
Yeah, we live on the second floor of a house on a main road in Ohio, and there's a lot of trucking in Ohio.
Yeah. So if you hear like, that's not the wind; those are trucks.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Can't get much better when you're just married.
Well, yeah, it's a good apartment. It's a really good apartment. I really like our apartment. It's a good price. It's a good start. It's a good size for now. I see it in your eyes. You want to talk about the doggo.
I want a dog. We can't have a dog in this apartment, and I want a dog so bad. I want a dog so bad. We go to your parents' house and we see your parents' dog, who you also talk about all the time.
Yes, I love that dog.
That dog's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a very good dog.
Yeah.
But I just think it'd be really cool if we had a dog, you know. It feels like it would just feel really good for our family, you know. Plus, I just love dogs. I just want to pet them all day long.
Do you want a boy or a girl dog?
I don't know. I don't think I've had both. I've noticed that girl dogs will bark more outside if they see people outside. Like, if they are outside and they see someone, like, walking in the backyard, in experience, my girl dog has barked at those people more. But if someone rang the doorbell or came inside, she wouldn't bark at them as much. And then vice versa, my boy dog wouldn't bark at anyone who would come in our backyard or, like, around our property. But if someone came inside or rang the doorbell, he'd be, like, going off the charts barking, so.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, I just love dogs. I mean, there's so many dogs out there who need families, and I mean, it just feels right. I just haven't had a dog in a while.
It's altruistic. You just want to save dogs. That's the only reason you want to get a dog.
I just want a dog so I can pet it and go and ruffle its face.
Any ideas for dog names?
I thought of dog names a long time ago when I was a kid. I thought Flapjack was a funny name for a dog. Especially a dog with floppy ears.
We've never talked about this.
I know, we've never talked about this. I thought that was a funny name for a dog who would have, like, floppy ears. Yeah.
That's a great name.
Right? I learned that pancakes were also called flapjacks, and I was like, that's a great name for a dog. I also really like the name George, but we can never have a child named George because George is an iconic character with our last name.
Yes, George Bailey.
And so we can't have a kid with that kind of iconic of a name because they'll be like constantly being like, oh my god, It's a Wonderful Life, you know.
Well, I wonder if all the people who have seen It's a Wonderful Life will be dead by then.
I hope people are still watching.
Yeah,
no,
I really hope people.
It's a classic.
It's a great movie.
It's very good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, watch it around Christmas time. It warms your heart and it makes you feel good. Just watch it at least once in your life. But anyway, I like George because of George Harrison from the Beatles, and I just think it's a cool name.
I like George as a dog name.
Yeah, I thought that'd be cool. I also thought maybe like Cinema because we like movies, but I don't know if that would work.
Name a dog Cinema?
Yeah.
Like cinnamon?
Kind of, but like Cinema, like the movies. Like its full name could be Cinema, but then we could just call it like
Sin?
Cinnamon. Not sin, like maybe like cinnamon. I don't know. Like I said, I thought of these names when I was little.
You wanted to call a dog Cinema when you were little?
I just thought it'd be cool to have something named that. And what else could you name that? Exactly.
Alright. Yeah, I wouldn't name a cat that.
A cat?
I wouldn't name a cat that.
Yeah. But anyway, those are some of my dog names I've thought of in the years. I've thought of a couple more.
What's your ideal breed?
I mean, I grew up with collies. I love collies, like Lassie. Like, they're just so fluffy, and they're good family dogs, and they're herders, so they protect the family, and they're just so fluffy. I just love fluffy dogs.
Yeah.
I think I don't really have a specific in mind. I just want it to be fluffy. I want it to be medium or big, because I'm not a huge fan of small dogs.
No.
I mean, I don't mind, like, other people, but personally, I would like a bigger dog. And then, like, I just mostly want it to be family-friendly, but still, like, a good protector dog, and be fluffy and medium to big size.
Yeah.
That's my, my dog eHarmony post. If those dogs are out there, please message me on Dog Harmony.
That's not a thing.
I know.
No, that's funny. That's funny. No, I want, and I've said this multiple times, I want like a high energy aggressive dog.
I know, you want a dog you can wrestle.
I want it to wrestle with a dog, and I want it to be a challenge. Like, I don't want it to be like we're trying to hurt each other type wrestling.
You can wrestle with collies. They're very playful. Oh my gosh. They're great.
But there's a difference between playing and wrestling.
But like, no, they get like all up in your face if you train them.
Really?
Good. They're good dogs.
Well, so
I just like collies, okay?
so the dogs that I was leaning towards, I was thinking of. I originally mentioned a Rottweiler, and the big reason is I knew this. I know Rottweilers like this really aggressive breed, and they're really known. They're a tough dog.
What happens if we ever have a baby?
The Rottweiler can learn. So if you train a Rottweiler well, they're good protector, good family dogs. I think it's really about the nurture.
But
They've got all of that energy. But if you direct that in the right direction as more of a protector, if you wrestle with them, if you make sure they get that energy out of their system, they're fine.
Yeah, but
and they're great protectors, and they're scary dogs for someone who's breaking into your house.
I know, but like if you bring in a baby and you trained all of it without the baby being there first, then it's gonna see that as somewhat of a threat.
I don't think so. I think that you can train the dog to be like, this is the newest member of our family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want a dog you can wrestle with. I feel like...
And the puppies are cute. You know the puppies are cute.
All puppies are cute, and you know that.
Not all puppies. There's some ugly puppies.
No, they're still cute, even though they're ugly. The reason why they're ugly makes them cute. But
The
anyway.
Rottweiler puppies are really cute. No, the reason I really like Rottweilers, though, is I knew this family when I was a kid. And they had this Rottweiler named Chevy. And this dog, this is a great dog. He's always got this grin on his face. But whenever he met somebody that he didn't like, and it wasn't very often, he liked everybody. But there was one time he met someone that he didn't like.
Was it a bad person?
He didn't smell great.
Oh, okay.
And I'm betting that's why because he had like a smoky smell to him, and he was an abused dog, and so that's probably what happened.
It triggered
and
something in
and
him.
it triggered something in him, and he became more aggressive. But I think if you train them well from birth and you raise them to know, these are bad people, these are good people. I think that would be a good dog, and he would be so much fun to wrestle with. And they're just really nice, and they're really energetic.
Both my dogs were rescue growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, one was in an animal hoarding situation in Georgia.
Oh wow. Yikes.
And one was found lost in the woods.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But the other breed, and I feel like this will be the breed we end up getting, because it sounds like Jesse was kind of down with this breed.
I'm down with it because it's fluffy.
It's kind of fluffy, yeah. The goodest dog is the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
And the reason part of the reason I was able to get my wife on board with this is because there was a group of, I think it was Army Rangers that took German Shepherd down on to raid a...
Well, German Shepherds are police dogs.
Yeah. But they took a German Shepherd with them to raid this terrorist encampment, and found the leader of ISIS. And there is a dog named Conan who chased down the leader of ISIS, causing him to blow himself up. And he was a hero dog. He is the goodest dog, because the goodest dogs kill terrorists.
Didn't kill the terrorists themselves.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like we also talked about maybe even like a husky too, but like...
Well, I don't know a husky would do well in our climate.
Yeah, that's the one thing. But like, I feel like a German Shepherd would probably work out. And since German Shepherds are usually police dogs and they teach them commands in German, I could teach them commands in German.
That would be fun. I don't think we get an aggressively trained German Shepherd.
I would like to get it at a young age to have it for a long time.
Yeah, they're very loyal dogs, and they're very protective, and they're very disciplined just by nature. That's why they're used as police dogs, and they're good guard dogs.
Oh, I love dogs.
But I think a German Shepherd would do well in our family.
Yeah, I think so.
Along with the Rottweiler.
Maybe we could get 2 dogs. Maybe if we get a house someday down the road, we can get 2 dogs.
That would be a lot of fun.
Like our friends, Lori and Casey.
Oh yeah.
They have 3 dogs.
Yeah, they have 3 dogs. One of them is like
tiny, and then they got 2
big.
giant dogs. It's so funny. You can tell the tiny one rules, though. But anyway, yeah. Oh man, I just want a dog so bad.
We'll get one. Don't
That'd be
worry.
so cool. Maybe by the end of the year we'll have a dog.
Maybe we'll see how this year goes. Because one of the things we're gonna look into this year is possibly getting a house.
Or at least moving to an apartment that will let us have dogs.
Yeah, it's not that... Again, this is a great apartment. I don't want to talk bad about the apartment that we have here, but it's not a great place for a dog.
Like I said, we live right next to the road.
On the second floor.
On the second floor, which is hard to have a dog. Especially when you can't have dogs in this apartment. But
And that's fine. I understand it.
It's fine. I know, I just gotta be patient. I just love dogs so much.
We'll get a dog eventually.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are almost out of time.
What time is it? How long have we been talking?
We've been talking for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
So
Probably don't want to make it too long.
Yeah.
Try to test with the lengths here.
Yeah. We were actually talking to her sister, Sam, and she listens to podcasts all the time. And she's like, I don't listen to anything that's over an hour.
Yeah.
And so we probably want to keep it closer to the 30 to 45 minutes. I listen to 3-hour podcasts. One of my favorite podcasts is...
And I listen to half-hour podcasts, so we're trying to find a middle ground.
Well, I listen to Joe Rogan all the time. In fact, we saw Joe Rogan when we went on our honeymoon in Hollywood.
Gosh, that's a whole nother story. We did so many things.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about our honeymoon sometime.
We went to so many places.
It was a crazy week. We did a lot of stuff. We were on TV. We were...
Save it for later.
What else did we do?
We saw The Who.
We saw The Who.
Live at the Hollywood Bowl.
And pot.
Save it for later.
And pot. Just a lot of
We didn't do pot. We just saw pot, okay?
We did so much pot.
We didn't.
We were so high.
Garrett, stop. We didn't do pot. We honestly didn't even have time to do pot. We barely had time to sleep.
We could have had time to do pot. We could have got the corn dogs. We got the corn dogs on Venice Beach, and there was a pot dispensary right next to it, and we were like, we should go get some pot. Because they had a long list of things.
Stop
and
lying.
It was like, they had, do you have any of these things? If you have any of these things, pot.
Garrett, way to end our first ever official podcast
We are
episode.
already getting canceled.
We didn't do pot, I promise. We did a lot of other things, but we didn't do pot. We were very busy. We were very busy going to places.
Yeah.
We had a lot of places planned to go to. It was awesome. It was tiring, but it was awesome.
All right. Cool thing. Maybe we'll do that next time. Maybe we'll do our honeymoon podcast next time.
Yeah.
So, Jessie, what is one thing you would like to recommend this week? Your one cool thing?
Oh my gosh. Let's see here. I feel like as far as like I'm going to do my recommendations, I'm going to do the thing that I've kind of been really into at the moment.
Yeah.
I have been into two things so far. The first thing is, wait for it, Candy Crush Saga. Okay, hold on. Don't leave. Hold on. I just needed something that was mindless to do on my phone, and I don't know, I found out I could listen or watch YouTube while I do it, which is kind of fun, and it like limits you with the lives and stuff, so it's just, you know, a fun little game to keep me relaxed from time to time. It's very mindless. Everyone's probably played it at some point. I just re-downloaded it on my phone a couple weeks ago, and I've just been playing it like on breaks and stuff. That's been really relaxing. Another thing I would probably recommend is The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
The last episode of season 1 just came out on Disney Plus last weekend, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. And they're making a season 2, but it's not going to come out till like the fall/winter of this year. Now it's 2020, which is weird. But oh my gosh, that's a great show. If you haven't seen it, it's only 8 episodes. They're about like 30 to 45 minutes long. It's really good. It's really well made. It looks like a bunch of mini movies, honestly.
Yeah.
It's so well made. The costumes are amazing. It's just, the story is interesting. It's just really fun. And if you just want a nice show that's like gives you those Star Wars feels, but also isn't like too much.
It's a lot like a Western.
Yeah, it's like a Western. It's very different from other things I've seen, and it's just nice, and I like that there's not that many episodes, so it's not like overwhelming right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty good. What would you recommend? Did I steal your recommendation?
No. I would like to recommend the Christmas present that my lovely wife got for me. She got me a nice pair of wireless earbuds from Cambridge Audio, and they are very good. They're very small. They're very discreet. They hook up pretty well. I have a Samsung phone, and it hooks up pretty well to the YouTube, or to the Bluetooth. And yeah, it's really fantastic. The battery life is fantastic. This case, even when it's not plugged in, it charges them.
That's really cool.
And what you do is you plug in, you charge up the case, and the case charges up the earbuds. The earbuds themselves can play for 9 hours at a time per charge. And if you add the case to it, it's about 36 hours worth of playtime. So, I haven't charged these since Christmas.
Wow, and it's January 1st, so...
And it is January 1st.
That's quite a long time,
and it's got, there's
and you use them frequently,
Oh, yeah, I use them all the time, and there's 5 bars on the front, and there's 2 bars left.
So you gotta charge it,
Yeah.
come up here soon.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say is I need to get the right insert for my ears, because I have weird ears, so it can be kind of painful to have them in my ears for extended periods of time, so I probably need to get like a different insert because these aren't the most comfortable. I mean, these are the ones I asked for because they're a really good price and they're really good quality. But I need to find the right insert because I've just got weird ears.
Yeah. Well, they come with all the different sizes, so you can play with those.
Yeah, I need to go through and play with those.
This is definitely... That is one of those gifts where, you know, you give it to someone and you're like, after you see them use it and enjoy it so much, you're like, man, I want one of those. Like, I had it in my possession and I gave it away.
That's how I felt about your engagement ring.
Oh. You wanted my engagement ring?
It's definitely one of the prettiest things I've ever bought.
Oh, thank you.
Aside from you.
Garrett! Anyway.
I bought you with the engagement.
Garrett, stop!
I know. It's weird. Don't cancel me. It's just a humor.
He's just being funny. He has funny humor like this. But anyway, do you have anything else to recommend? Is that it?
No, that's it.
All right.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.